Just a few more blocks. Careful. Yes! No! No! Welcome to Kinecraft. Hello and welcome back to another amazing, simple and easy Minecraft video. Yes! So today I will be going over the chicken. Yes, how do you get tons of chickens, cooked chicken, as simple as possible. Now I am doing this mainly because of the update. Now there were plenty of ways of cooking up these chickens before. I don't remember which specific update it was, but one of the recent updates actually changed the behavior of chickens so that you could not normally have them fall directly on top of a burning block of fire. They will simply just stand there and die, unfortunately. And when they fall, they just die in it, and nothing happens. I'll show you an example right here. Let's see if I can get this positioned correctly. I'm gonna have to create a little block right there. Actually, right here. This is good. Boom. So the chicken will fall, they'll burn, they'll just stand there like an idiot, and then all of the freaking stuff will just die with them right there. See how stupid that is? Nothing. No chicken. No feathers either, as if bleh, as if those are that valuable. So anyway, I figured out how to get around this problem. Yes, finally! It took me a really long time. If you were watching my normal Let's Play series, you will have noticed that I got very frustrated trying to figure this out because nothing worked that used to work. And I will show you here how it works, and then I will lead on to, well, I'll show you it working, then I'll show you how it works. So let me just turn on this little machine here. This spews out the chickens, and as you saw, I put in 32. Now this is a very high efficiency build that I made. It's very simple, very easy, and I'll just drop these guys down here. So they drop down into a little room. And then slowly but surely, chicken is starting to be produced. Cooked chicken, that is. Very easily. Now as you saw, one of them actually died on top of the platform. That's unfortunate. Their chicken may have been pushed aside. Actually, that's a second one. Very rare that that does in fact happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen too many times more. I did do a huge number of different testings, and I found that this was an efficiency of 98%. Very high. It isn't as fast as I would like it to be, but it does have a high efficiency. So 98% of the chicken is produced, 2% is burned in the fire, unfortunately. So this does work upon the pathfinding of the chicken. It utilizes the specific pathfinding that the chicken has to escape a closed area which they are confined in currently. And slowly but surely they trickle out one by one, or in large numbers, as you saw in the very beginning when I had a large number of them in here. And shortly they will all be processed into cooked chicken. One more left. Hopefully this guy doesn't take a while. Sometimes they do. They just sit around for a while. I just wait it out. It's not a big deal for me. Come on, chicken. Come on. I don't have to speed this up. I don't want to do it. Come on, chicken. Don't just blink at me. Go. Now I could hit this, but that would skew the results. There he goes. There he goes. Yes. Yes. And there you go. So I have 30 out of 32. Normally it's 98%, so normally I have a bit more than that. Normally I get 31. Have gotten a few perfects, 32. But as promised, I'll show you exactly how you do this. So the basic concept revolves around the idea, like I said, of pathfinding. So let's just put a bunch of chickens in here, just a crap ton. Doesn't matter how many, just a very large amount, right? And of course, how you get all these chickens is by building some contraption where you have a bunch of chickens just hovering above water. They'll just sit there. Normally, I build mine a bit larger. If you're playing on a server, you'll need to build it very large so that they aren't all crunched together as they are right now. You want them to be separated enough so that when the game saves, they don't save and then just get spit outside of the block, or sometimes they can like get pushed through walls. It's very weird, but anyway, they will start laying eggs. The eggs will fall through this open gate here, land in the water as you see, and trickle down all the way to the very bottom where you will collect them. If you have a large enough amount of chickens, they'll all trickle down, and you'll have a large supply of eggs. Now then you'll throw the eggs into a chamber like area. Not this one, I'll show you up there, it's much easier, so you don't have to actually throw it. But let's say you have them all grown up like this. Now, if I open any one of these blocks that will allow them to actually escape this area, they will do so. So I'm going to light this little fire block out here and open it up. Now what first happens, you see that a large number of them will actually start running to that block. Now since the block is elevated, it prevents the chickens that are running out, the ones that are trying to leave this area, it prevents them from pushing other chickens that aren't ready to leave yet, that don't want to leave. They might push them into the block where they will burn, and they will just lose their items. They won't actually drop anything. If they get pushed, they'll just stay still. It's really stupid. But that's what that single block is meant for. So that the chicken who wants to leave jumps up, steps onto the block, and then jumps down. Now, sometimes they will actually jump up and then stay put. They'll stay on top of the block and they won't move, like this guy right here. In those instances, most of the time, they get pushed onto the fire block and then pushed off of it by the one who is trying to move. Now, very rarely, now this is the 1% of the, or 2% of the time where they actually end up losing the chicken, they will jump down onto the fire block and then they won't move. They'll actually stay onto the fire block. It's very unfortunate, but I have no way to prevent this from happening. They just do it on their own. It's part of their pathfinding. It's a percentage, and 2% is not that bad. So let me go ahead and, I killed off that guy. I'm gonna put out this, and that was the testing. So that's what I figured out that happens with these guys, and that is the best scenario that I got, where that 2% or that 98% efficiency rate is preserved. So let me get rid of these chicken, and I will show you how I have this set up. So basically, in this top, this top position, I have these guys in a situation to where, and let me just light this up here, so I don't have to go with this reverse, this reverse rig here. So, as you see, there's a platform right there, controlled by the pistons. I have a dispenser right here, set up to a repeater. So I have 32, and this repeater is just a general repeater. You can see. Many people have these in YouTube videos. If you're interested in building that, it's very easy. But I just set that up. It spits out the chickens. 32 of them will hatch, since I just have the actual the mod eggs, I guess you can call it, the spawn chicken eggs. If you have actual eggs, you would just fill this up 9 stacks of 16. So that you have the greatest number of chickens. I thought 32 was a good number. I'm not sure what percentages they are. If you have 9 stacks of 16, I haven't gone through the math of that. But as you see, I do have them so that they are a bit spaced out. You do not want them just all stuck into this big 4 block area. If you do that and we release these pistons, they'll fall down and then they will explode and expand everywhere, and you don't want that to happen. You want them to be pleasantly open so that they trickle down and they don't kind of expand rapidly and get pushed off by the other ones. I can show you the example of that maybe later on, I don't know. So basically I have this water here to give them an area to kind of get pushed out in a different direction than being trapped in this 4-block area. If you have multiple water gates, if you see my Let's Play, I have a giant room with tons of water surrounding it, so they have plenty of space to be around, and they're not forced to be confined in this 4-block area. So, once I release that, they will start to fall down in a nice, see how they expanded a tiny bit there? It wasn't that bad though. If it gets too bad, they'll actually get pushed onto this sand block here, and you don't want that. So as you see, they've already started to jump up onto the sand block and jump off onto the fire and then off the fire. As they fall, they spin in a circle and then they jump off to their death. Now this chamber in here is 4x4, and then I gave them 2 extra spaces. These extra spaces are in the direction of where I want them to go. I put these extra spaces so that when they were falling, they did not have the opportunity to land on top of the sand block. Sometimes they will be kind of moving against the block on the side, and if they fall directly, while pushing, they will actually move blocks out to the outer block area. If this sand block was right where my cursor is pointing right now, they will actually be able to land on top of that sand block, and I don't want them to do that. I only want them to go onto the sand block when they want to leave. And in that fluid motion, 98% of the time, they go on top of the sand block, on top of the fire block, and then fall off to the side. Now here's a guy that landed on top of the sand block and stopped. I don't really have to worry about this guy. Chances are, if he does get pushed off, he will get pushed off and then fall off to the side, as he just did right there. The brown chicken pushed him off. He landed on top of the fire, but then fell off to the side. That happens most of the time, so I don't have to worry about them stopping on top of the sand block. I only have to worry about them stopping on top of the fire block. So as you saw, they all died, and let's see, I have 32 exactly, so that was a perfect run, and that makes up for the 2 that I lost previously, so I retain my, hopefully, 98% efficiency rate with this build. Now, as you can see, it has an axis so that you can go in here, collect the chicken, and safely remove yourself from the situation. You do not need doors whatsoever. This area they will not be able to get to. The chickens will fall to the bottom. The most they will be able to make is to this block right here. So they won't have a huge amount of range to roam. You just simply go down, pick it up from both sides, and you're done. It's very fast, it's very clean, very efficient, and very simple. If you do have any more questions with this build, please post in the comments below. Otherwise, this section down here you can ignore. It was simply my testing. I will show that, however, right now if you just want to see it. It doesn't really have any bearing on the results of the previous situation where I had the chickens over here. But let me just put down this block right here. Bloop. There we go. And get some water in here. So this was my first test, and you can stop the video now if you're not interested in just watching this. This has no significance to the usage of the actual simple and easy chicken farm. It was simply my test, one of my first builds, and that's what I used. So for instance, let me go and create some more eggs here. I'm only going to be doing 32. I have tried bouts of 64. The only thing you have to worry about with 64 is you will need more area for them to be in. So this single water stream down, you'll need more of those pushing down from all 4 sides, so that the 64 or greater number of chickens will have a greater area to push out into, so that when this is released, they don't fall down and expand rapidly. So for instance, this is what my first test was like, my first build of trying to get this to work properly. Whoops. Hold on a second. Where the heck is my lever? I destroyed it by accident. Good job. And I forgot to even put in the chicken eggs. There we go. So, as you see, they're all in the single spot and they expand rapidly. That's what I was talking about, and that would happen, for instance, if you had them confined in those 4 blocks. They will expand rapidly and some would land in places you don't want them to. So here we go. This was my first build. Do not build this. It is not very efficient. See how one of them just landed on top of the fire right away? Not very efficient, not very clean. I'm just showing this for shits and giggles, really. In this build, they have tons of areas to go. It's not any more faster than this one over here. You still get stragglers at the very end that just don't want to move. They just stand there forever. And as you see, the chicken is spread out all over the place, so it's really hard to collect. You actually have to go in a greater circle. And some of them are actually inside. You see those 2 chickens over there. So I would at some point feel the desire to go in there and get those. In my current state, I have creative mode on, so I don't really have to worry about getting burned by the fire, and I can go and get that. You may not be so lucky in the normal game. However, you could just put out the fire and relight it when you exit the area. But as you see, there's 2 left. Okay. And I'm currently at efficiency close to that of the simple and easy build, except this is a lucky run. I have much lower rates than than this build, the very simple and easy one. As you can see, it's very, very simple, very, very easy. You don't really need much effort to build this. It has a much smaller collection area, and the efficiency rate is much higher than this massive build over here. So don't even attempt that build. You want to use this one instead. And of course, you're not going to be hatching adult eggs. You're just going to have them sit in that waiting area, so to speak. That 4-block area with the water streams to help them spread out more. And you'll be waiting for 20 minutes, 20-minute wait time for them to grow up from babies. If you're on a server, I don't believe babies are on servers. I don't know. I can't remember if they implemented that or not. I don't play on servers very much. But, yeah. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this build. Hope you enjoyed that random bit at the end of this first build, just to explain why all of this massive area was there in the first place. However, I hope you enjoy my future builds, and I hope you enjoy Minecraft.